Hello, friends. Welcome to the pre-election day pop-up. I'm your host, Trevor Stewart, 1308. We're here with the Peanut Gallery, and in the background, the associate producer, Kat. Say hi, guys. Okay, that's not good. Huh. Okay. Should be working.
Oops, that's the wrong thing.
No, she has stepped out. That's not good.
Okay. I can hear
You okay
you.
there?
Okay, I can hear you. You're there. You're here.
She has stepped out.
She stepped out, but you're here. I am
And
not sure what technical issues we've got going on, but we've got technical issues going on.
oh, while you're working technical issues, I have a special message.
What is that? Nope, still don't hear it. You want me to try this one?
Yeah, sure.
One more time, that is. And hopefully, Nikwork Entertainment, probably Skull 9, and Numerals will be dropping that single soon. But actually, that was Morse code for vote, 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 Kamala, vote, vote, vote. Is that the message you had for us?
That was the message that I put in there. Yes.
Well, folks, that is exactly what we're here to say. We're here this evening to try and convince as many of you as possible to get out and vote, and to vote for Kamala. I realize that she is an imperfect choice at best, but she is, let's be absolutely clear about this, she's the only sane choice we have.
Well, we can always do what we jokingly do in better years. Vote Cthulhu. Why vote for the lesser?
I'd say that, but I'm not entirely sure Cthulhu would be the greater evil in this case. I honestly think that I honestly think that Trump is a greater evil than Cthulhu, and just Trump, but that entire political machine that surrounds him currently. Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, all of those people. They make the elder gods scared because they know true evil.
And I think the real problem is they misspelled the Heritage Foundation. It's supposed to be spelled Hatered.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. It's not the Heritage Foundation, it's the Hatred Foundation. That's right. That explains why they're all just a bunch of, like, comic book villains. I mean, they really are right out of the funny pages.
Dude. Do not compare them to comic book villains.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I did not mean to insult comic book villains like that.
No. Let's go on some quote unquote fact checking here.
Let's do it.
I unfortunately know this dumb shit.
Yes. Yes. Let us.
Lex Luthor got elected president in the DC universe.
Okay.
The comic book villain as president.
And
How?
let me guess, he did a better job.
I have no idea how well he did. I'm pretty sure he did some crazy stuff, but was kept in check by other things.
Right, of course.
You know how in round one, hopefully the solo round, the Orange in Chief
Mm-hmm.
did not divest himself of business interests. Did
Yes.
not put them in a trust. Did not remove them from his own sphere of influence.
Correct.
Lex Luthor did.
Really?
Yes, really.
Did Lex Luthor release his tax returns?
I'm not sure that came up.
I have a feeling that Lex Luthor did, or it or at least released the tax returns that he shows everybody else. What?
If you're a supervillain, do you get a 1099?
No. He was the owner of a business. He was
Oh,
right. He filed as
Like
a
a multinational business conglomerate.
right. So I think it's an oh god. What is it? What do I it's a similar it's going to be similar to the tax return that I file.
for a small business person.
Yeah. Well, okay, no. He's taller than me, so I don't think he qualifies as a small business person.
Yeah, but he's also balder, so I think we should allow him that.
I don't know. I don't want to irritate the penguin.
True. Okay.
I think the
so
penguin qualifies as a small business person.
Are henchmen paid as employees or contractors?
That depends on who you get your henchmen through. If you're going through the Legion of Doom standard contracting, then they're employees. If you're going through other means, I'm guessing that they're more like interns.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. You barely ever hire them as subcontractors or contractors. Those are the mercenary groups.
Well,
Yep.
most of the time, the henchman would actually be a commodity. reasoning for this, the sheer number of times that there is cloning technology involved.
True. Actually, true. I think the henchmen, yeah, probably sold as commodity, not as employees. So you don't really pay them, you buy them.
That's villainous in and of itself. The henchmen are actually chattel.
I mean, bad
Give
guy.
people rights. Clones are people too.
They prefer to be called minions.
I'm sorry, I did not catch what you just said.
I said they prefer to be called minions. Oh, this is okay. So you really have never seen Venture Bros. Oh, you really need to. Because if these are the kinds of questions you have, oh, they have the answers.
Oh, they also have the answers in various
In what?
currently running DC animated series.
Nice.
Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy,
Oh, yes, I love that one.
and the spin-off Kite Man.
Oh, Kite Man! Hell yeah!
But yeah, they cover these things.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes. It very much reminded me of Venture Bros. I was all in on that show. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy was so much fun. Well, so, but what we're saying is,
Comic book villain would be better.
yes, the Orange Man is not even a good villain.
No.
It does amaze me that he was able to do owning a casino wrong. Like, how do you lose money owning a casino?
By not putting it in the vault and just carrying it out in your pockets?
Ah, yeah. Okay. And that's really what he did. He was an extractive owner. He just extracted the wealth from it and destroyed it. Oh, that's a cursed image. I'm not even gonna know. That's cursed.
Yeah, but still better than the alternative.
Yup. Hello, Niffy Double O. You own one big stinky balls? Alright. Or you own a cursed image. Because I'm pretty sure we all have at least one cursed image.
Yeah, mine's my face.
Eh.
I'd to argue with that one.
The sheer number of cameras that have literally broken directly after taking a picture of me, not exaggerating. It has happened on multiple occasions.
Working the DMV.
Oh,
That-
considering that is a level of purgatory, it is currently reinforced against both hellfire and heavenly emanations. So, I think I'm going to have to work a lot harder to break those cameras.
The DMV is protected from on high and below.
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Explains the flaw.
That also explains why they rush me through. Why they don't want me there any longer than necessary. They're like, no, you're outside of our system. Go away. Do your business and go away. We don't like you.
That does make sense.
I will say, like, DMV is one of the few systems that I don't just like have extreme problems with. One of the few institutions that doesn't seem to like lose my paperwork or forget that I exist, or they they barely ever made a mistake with me, and they almost always rush me through, and it is unnerving. It is unnerving when everyone else is complaining about how slow the DMV is. Oh wow, my camera is pointed all sorts of the wrong direction. I didn't even catch that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's because it's using the wrong freaking camera.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Crime eminently Nazi. Okay. Testing.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Chaotic Techno Wizard. Good to see you here. Is that what that means?
Yep.
Ah, I knew you. Why is that the wrong camera?
Now you can actually read the chat yourself.
Yep.
At least for the next, however long actually happens.
Last time I tried to log in and connect to the channel, it said I needed to input information, and well, no thanks. You still there? You look pretty frozen at the moment.
I feel pretty frozen at the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is technical difficulties, eh?
I mean, things happen.
You should
Okay.
have spoke up.
Right? Like I said, technical difficulties.
Refresh your window.
Yep.
Or did it start working?
We seem to be functioning.
But why is that the camera that it's going with? And also, why has that camera been uncovered? Okay, this is entirely bizarre. We're going to continue like this for now, although I'm not wild about it.
Has Gandalf been sneaking in and filming videos without your knowledge?
I can't tell, but I think some of what's going on is he might be unplugging things without my knowledge.
Ah, that would do it.
Oh, your technical difficulties are indicative of the selection season.
Yeah, they are. Well, I guess we're through the technical difficulties, or whatever. Crime eminently, this is going to be one of those days.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains it. Okay. Well, when I'm done, I'm gonna have to relaunch OBS and check some things, and then probably restart the computer. So, but whatever. This is some stuff happens, crap occurs.
Here's some functioning out if imperfectly.
Functioning, if imperfectly, it's at least functioning. Yeah, that's my laptop webcam. Bugs me to use that. Also, bugs me that it was uncovered. It's not supposed to be.
No.
In any case, now we've covered some of the politics in the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
Let's step back to politics in the DCU.
Yeah.
Or, as we know it, Capitol Hill.
CPU.
DCCP, yeah. CPU? No. No, because it would be CPTL... CPTLHL. Capitol Hell. No wonder it's felt so weird. I'm not wild about that. Oh well. Pardon me. So, again, we're here to plead for y'all to go vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote. But we should discuss why. You know, we should discuss how one side has a plan. The other side, actually, both sides have a plan. One side has an official plan, policy plans that they equate with their candidate. The other side has this manifesto that their candidate unconvincingly denies having association with.
Yeah.
Do we... let's see what we can... I'm curious to see if we know anything about Kamala Harris's plans, her overall policy plans. And I probably should have looked this up before we got started.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. election, what are Harris and Trump's positions on key things? You know, from Al Jazeera. Oh, yeah. And I am very curious as to what Al Jazeera's opinion of what's going on is.
I mean,
Okay, well,
generally that's not where one would expect to be getting U.S. news from.
you know, you'd think.
General.
All right. So, from this I'm not seeing who. Oh, Al Jazeera. Okay. Al Jazeera staff. from Al Jazeera, from the Al Jazeera staff. Here are the stances on economy and manufacturing, according to this article. Kamala Harris cut taxes for more than 100 million working class and middle class Americans by restoring child tax credits and earned income tax credits. Okay. Increase long-term capital gains tax from 20% to 28% and corporate tax rates from 21% to 28%. Capital gains tax. Capital gains are the money you make off of investments.
Right.
Off of stuff like that. Like that's capital gains. Money that doesn't come directly from a good or service.
Right.
Or inheritance. Inheritance, I don't
Depends
know.
on how the inheritance comes to you. Like if it's a house and
Okay.
you sell it, then there's a capital gains that you realize on the house.
Okay.
If it is sold after a certain period, after the time of gifting or willing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And corporate tax, we realize what that is. Now, increase long-term capital gains from 20% to 28% and corporate tax rate from 21 to 28%. That is really not that much.
mhm.
And I don't know how much other people are paying in taxes. I pay about 28 to 30% in taxes.
Mhm.
I'm assuming other people pay about the same. I don't know.
I'm
But-
not sure how that capital gains tax increase is going to work out. Mind you, limited understanding here.
Okay.
But capital gains tax is charged when you sell a stock, and and the capital gains is based off of the profit versus the point of purchase.
Okay.
So
If you don't sell your stock, you don't pay your capital gains tax.
Right.
you technically don't own anything. Yet, this is the way many corporate overlords and billionaires and whatnot get away with paying so little because they borrow against what they have in the market, but they don't sell it, so they don't have to pay any taxes on it.
Right. And then they die, so they don't have to pay any taxes on it. And inheritance taxes are tragically low.
Well,
If you are at a certain level, yes. If you're not, then they're exorbitantly
Insanely high, yes. And
inheritance taxes don't actually kick in until after you account for $500,000 of inheritance.
right. That's why it's like that's why inheritance tax, capital gains tax doesn't kick in until a certain point too, doesn't it? Like you got to make a certain amount before they tax it.
No, it's off of any profit from versus purchase price.
Hey, that's good at least. I mean, it really is. My personal opinion is that raising corporate tax rate and raising capital gains tax and raising inheritance tax are all progressive. Well, I don't know that it's my opinion. This is actually, I think, would be considered fact, but they're progressive taxes. It will, huh?
The thing that I thoroughly enjoy is you'll get someone up on stage saying, well, it will reduce the inheritance tax, and they'll just refer to it as the death tax. Because it's not paid until someone dies and someone inherits stuff. And all these people are just like, yay! We don't have to pay tax on this. Meanwhile, the vast majority of the people who are doing absolutely ape over this don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have to pay for it. That is, at least that's something. They don't have to pay that tax as they're getting taken to the cleaners for their death accommodations. Death is expensive. Okay, she also wants a federal ban on price gouging on food and groceries.
Right.
Call me a leftist, but I'm kind of against price gouging, period. But then again, I'm also anti-capitalist, so. Focus on Harris's opportunity economy agenda. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Which the campaign frames as a plan to help small businesses and entrepreneurs innovate and grow.
All right, everybody, break out your buzzword bingo card.
Right? Like, I think we got several bingos on that one. Of course, the nebulousness of that statement leaves me uneasy.
Right.
But
She is a politician.
also, we know that her plans aren't to ruin the economy or America or small business people or the middle class. We know that all of that.
Herself.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Her plans are not specifically to enrich herself
Right.
and the cadre of people who are busily cleaning various orifices with their tongues.
Right. That is not her goal. Oh, yeah, it is. That was wow. You got there. You know, this is something that's been getting on my wick a little. All of the people who say that the parties are exactly the same. They really aren't. You know, there was a time when they were similar in that they were similar in that they played by a certain set of rules, that things were going to get done because they didn't mind working in the darkness across the aisle. You know, all of this stuff. We've talked about a bunch of this stuff before. But ultimately, and back then, you know, the differences were big government versus little government, federal rights versus states' rights, you know. It wasn't... there was a bit of the, you know, where do you cut taxes and where do you increase taxes? And you know, and a lot of the difference being between a fiscal conservative and a fiscal progressive. And this is the moment when I point out that every time we've had a solid depression, like economic depression, the way out is to spend our way out, to use programs that, you know, build jobs, provide for the public welfare. bring the standard of living for everybody up. These are the things that get us out of these economic depressions.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think about it like that, I do find myself wondering about fiscal conservatism. Is it even helpful? Is there a time when fiscal conservatism does anything? And yes, there is. There's a time when it does something. When your country is rich, fiscal conservatism keeps you rich and keeps that money moving upstream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's another time that it is helpful to the general populace. Again, high school education here. So
Hey, high school education here,
take it with a grain of salt, but there's a
right?
time when it is helpful to the general populace to help cool down rampant inflation.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. And it did work. It did just work. However, I point out that conservatism, being a conservative, I'm pointing at the wrong camera, being a conservative is what kept Jay Powell from getting on that immediately. Even he and the Fed say they waited just a little too long to hike rates. And as a result, we had more inflation for longer because they were conservative.
Well, also look at the numbers compared to the 70s and 80s.
That's fair. But I don't remember what the numbers were in the 70s and 80s. No, I mean, they were,
Inflation got much higher.
yeah, they were a lot higher. And that's the thing, like, back then, it used to always be a good investment to put your money in a 10-year bond because interest rates were insane. Well, not insane, they were just really high.
You're insane.
They were insane. So you'd always be making, it was always if you had the 10 years to put into to getting a 10-year bond, then it was always worth it. I am curious as to how interest rates got down to zero, got so low. And they've been, it's not just when Trump slashed them and dropped them down. It had been trending that way for a while.
And they were zero before he got into office.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how that happened. Was that a slow, steady decline? Also, though, the feds and the setting of those rates, all of that's independent of. That's supposed to be and is independent of politics.
Mm-hmm.
That and it's important to make that distinction because that independence, that apoliticalness is what gives a foundation of believability to our economy. If our economy, if the Fed were a political appointment, a political set of positions, and that separation wasn't there, there would be no faith in our economy, and we wouldn't be the base economy for the world. And maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it's the way it is now, and if that changes, it sure is going to be a shakeup.
Yeah.
It would feel like the worst thing in the world for a long time. And the funny thing is, really shouldn't. There's so little that the president can actually do to affect the economy. Outside of these sort of massive bills that they can propose, these tax and spend bills that really infuse the economy with more capital, really get an economy going. Drop the taxes on the middle class and the poor, raise the taxes on the rich and corporations. Whoo, doggies. And then you spend it on a bunch of social welfare. I tell you what, that will make a strong economy like that. It won't matter what the feds do to the interest rates.
They talk about taxes to the corporations. You complain about corporate taxes in the United States.
Yeah.
The United States is in the top 3 tax havens of the world.
Yeah. Like, we're really not losing that much taxable business. Honestly. And other places. Oh, man. Part of what makes us a good place to do business, but this is changing, is the stability of our nation in general. Like, we are, or were, a fairly stable nation. No matter how much we disagree with each other, it's not like there's ever been a problem with the peaceful transfer of, oh crap.
Yeah. That one.
Ah, dang it. Okay, so Kamala also has a goal of 25 million new business applications in her first term by raising startup expense tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000. I mean, that's a factor of 10.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that $5,000 was probably set back in the 70s.
Or 60.
Kind of like the way the minimum wage was set back in the 70s or 60s and has barely gone up until recently.
Very true. Very true. It looks like a huge jump because it's a factor of 10, but $50,000 is not actually that much money. Like, it really ain't that
Especially when you're
huge.
talking about a business. $5,000, that's just getting printing
right?
That's your pamphlet for the application.
That's
Yeah.
5 months of business operations for me. No, that's 2.5 months of business operations for me. I forgot. I'm probably spending about twice what the investor is putting in.
Depending on what your business is, that's one pay period plus utilities and insurance for that pay period.
Yeah. And 50,000 is, well, less than a year,
Uh-huh.
you know?
But still significantly more than a month.
Yeah. I mean, it's 50,000 is 10 months. 10 months of run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's also going to resist unfair trade practices from China or any other country that undermines American workers. That's vague, but promising. I mean, and she wants to ensure the U.S. is a leader in the industries of the future, such as semiconductors, clean energy, and AI.
Oh, both of those sound very much like they are very polytackle.
Yeah. Donald Trump wants to end inflation. You realize you
Okay.
can't end inflation.
No.
Oh, you can. You can, but it's not going to be healthy.
Right, that's
Because
true. It's stagnation, and stagnation is unhealthy too.
no, there's one that's even worse. That on the books looks better, but causes a lot more problems.
Deflation, devaluation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Deflation.
Cut corporate tax rate to 15%. Would consider significantly increasing the child tax credit. Okay, he'd consider it,
That's nice of him to consider it. How many kids he got?
right? Cut government
Oh,
spending.
there's a reason why he'd consider increasing the child tax rate. So it's cheaper to visit Epstein.
Ow.
Ho! Golf clap.
This is nice. You actually get to see his face when you say something that floors him. I'm appreciating this.
I'm sorry.
Don't
No.
be.
What was his request before he actually went all the way live?
Your job to write the jokes here. This is heavy stuff. You make it funny. That's what I told him.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to cut government spending without giving us any explanation as to how. Bring supply chains to U.S. U.S. becomes biggest energy producer in the world by far and brings down the cost of energy.
Mm-hmm.
In that spot where they're supposed to give us a brief statement of how, he just said by far. Bring supply chains to U.S., stop outsourcing, turn U.S. into a manufacturing superpower. it feels reactionary. It feels like he's trying to return there. And I mean, I can't deny that NAFTA did a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't deny that. But honestly, like, the genie's out of the bag. And once the cat's out of the lamp, you can't put the drink back in the can.
Whereas I heard earlier this week a lot, well, last week a lot of times, you cannot unring that bell.
Oh, there's the one I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. You can't put the cat back in the lamp to unring the bell.
Look, you gotta keep mixing the metaphors. Somehow it's gotta be to unring the horn.
To unring the horn. Okay. Prevent the importing of Chinese-made vehicles and protecting the U.S. automobile industry. Oh, man. I mean, I get it. Okay. Sure. Thing is, this is a consumerist nation. And if the Chinese build the cheap electric vehicles that we all want to buy to save our world, oh wait, he doesn't believe we need that.
Right.
Nativist economic policy. Buy American, hire American.
Hey, keep on
America.
hiring Americans. They're American.
South American. Central American. Hire Canadians. Hire them Canadians. They're North Americans too.
Yep.
Increase tariffs on foreign-made goods while bringing down taxes. Oh, you know what? I just realized I want to do this.
Uh-oh.
There we go. So that people can see what I'm looking at.
Ah.
Yeah. Story by Al Jazeera staff 4 hours ago. Do we want to go through all of this? I mean,
How long were you planning on streaming?
I don't know.
Okay.
We've been on for an hour already? Well, close to an hour already.
I mean,
But the point.
discussing DC politics was important.
Yeah.
Hey, you can sum up Trump's idea for housing and all the other stuff with a very simple definition of who he is. Slumlord.
Yes.
I mean, hit 'em where it's true. So, we can take a look at this, you know, at this economic and manufacturing and see how that's gonna extrapolate to the rest of this. And it is very. The two sides are not equal. They're not the same. One of them is trying to do their best for this country, even if it's a huge party and they don't know what they're doing and they're making a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not down with how the Democrats are dealing with Gaza. I'm not. It's not okay.
No.
We need to take all of our weapons away. We need to take our toys away from them. From Israel. Israel has proven that it cannot responsibly play with these toys. They don't get these toys anymore. Not only do we stop sending them the toys, we need to take them away. We need to de-escalate the Middle East by cooling Israel. October 7th was awful. Nothing justifies that. But that does not justify a year-long genocidal attrition.
Mm-mm.
Nor does it justify moving people off of their land just so you can... And not just moving, starving people, murdering them, using the most underhanded set of tricks in the colonist handbook. I mean, the colonialism... just nasty colonialism.
I don't know. They're not giving them blankets yet.
That can't be far off, though, the way they're going.
Also, they don't have to. They don't have to. They've destroyed all... They've destroyed all sanitation facilities. All medical facilities. They don't have to give them disease. They just have to keep anybody from healing the disease.
Pretty much.
So basically, you're saying they're salting the earth so that they can take it,
Yep.
and when they get it and realize that the earth is salted, they'll blame the people that they took it from.
Yep.
That is exactly it.
That is exactly it. I mean, this is some United States level skullduggery. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
How dare they threaten our top position in that?
right. We're the universal bad guys. How dare they? I mean, whatever you got to do, you know. But yeah, I mean, they're not. But you know, what Trump wants to do there is way worse. You know? He's more dangerous, even though Kamala Harris can't come out and say, I don't support this genocide. Donald Trump has come out and said, I will actively support this genocide.
Yeah.
You know, and while Kamala Harris has had a tepid, at best, reaction to if she'll support trans rights, I'll follow the law. Not a lot there, honey. You know, tepid at best, but Donald Trump has actively said, I'll change the laws to make it worse.
Yeah.
You know? We're not, the sides aren't equal. The sides aren't the same. Much as I love the new Body Count song, the sides are not the same. It's not a case of Democrats and blood publicans.
No.
You know, I mean,
Tepid response, I say you take with a grain of salt because we are quite in the middle of election season. And
cha-cha-chum! Election season! Yeah, that is
but
exactly where we are.
we're in the middle of that, and everything is. Don't ask me why, but everything is so close and down to the wire. She's got to be very careful on these super hot button topics.
Right? Right? Like,
She doesn't want to throw anybody under the bus, and
right.
she doesn't want to give anybody more fuel to throw at her.
And this is where neoliberalism is so it's like it's better it's more important to win on some of your morals than to stand up for all of them. And when you do that, who gets left behind? What morals get left behind? But also, if you can't win elections, how are you going to stand up for anybody's anything?
Pretty much.
Well, at least there are some morals to be left behind.
Right?
This is true.
And as one of those morals getting left behind, I'm still saying do it. Vote for her.
What it comes down to, if you look at the ultimate kind of archetype of each one, you've got the sleazy slumlord that is willing to set your building on fire and collect the insurance money over your bones, and the cop.
Right.
You know, both of them are liable to do something horrible to you and kill you, but at least at the moment, the cop is trying to do what they see as the right thing. You
Right.
know, the slumlord is going to like attack any.
And the thing is she's not in the worst level of cops. I don't think she was a dirty cop. You know? I don't think she was a hypocritical cop. Okay, maybe she was. I don't think she was a dirty cop.
Right.
I think that she was one of those police officers. She was one of those people who got into doing what she did because she thought she was helping. She was trying to help. She's always had the best intentions. Now, granted, these intentions have paved the road to hell for multiple people. Multiple, not just, people, but like multiple groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because ACAB. I mean,
That's the way intentions have always worked.
right. Right. And just because good intentions pave the road to hell doesn't mean that we should change our intentions to bad. It means that we need to be more careful about how we move forward with our plans.
Mm-hmm.
It means we need to look at what the long-term effects of what we do are.
It's better to have good intentions and realize that you may need to take those good intentions with a grain of salt over outright hostile intentions.
Right. Right. Ooh, Lockpick's live.
So,
Wow.
He resurrected after being broken off in your door.
yes.
Yes. Well, yeah, he was a priest.
No comment. No comment.
I
I'm not exactly sure where you're going with that one, so I'm leaving that one alone before I step my foot in something.
I didn't know I was into that. Turns out I am. Who knew?
We already had one Epstein joke. We don't need to go any further.
Hey, he wasn't a priest.
Yeah, I thought you'd be more into nuns. All the
Nah.
bad habits.
Oh, yeah, but they want none of that. Plus, I'm not into wimple play.
Right over my head.
The thing
I'm
is,
certain there's a joke in there, but I don't get it.
The wimple went over your head? Yes, that's where they go.
And I stepped right into that and still don't understand.
do you know what a wimple is?
Out of clue.
Right. When you look at the nun wearing her habit, you know that white thing that's choking her to death?
Okay.
The white hood that's underneath the black one?
On some habits, yes.
Yeah, that's a wimple. Basically, it's a choke collar dressed up as fashion. It's not fashion.
It's also a euphemism for going number one.
So if it's extremely heavy, it's tennis. Wimbledon.
Ooh.
That was smart. That was some big wrinkly brain stuff right there. That was so smart I had to take my glasses off.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. So you remember the epic story about my car the other day?
Yeah.
So while I'm standing guard, trying to make sure I don't get a parking ticket,
Yeah.
I saw two pieces of merch walk past me.
Oh.
Yeah. And I mean, like, within 5 or 10 minutes of each other, this dude walks past me with a white hat with a comma LA on it. And then, like, 5 or 10 minutes later, a woman walks past me with a comma with an LA in it on her t shirt. It took me, I got it almost immediately. Like, the dude made it 3 steps past me, and I went, oh my God, that's so smart. I get it. That's good. I like that. And by the way, I was dressed relatively like this, so that was a moment that was intimidating for that neoliberal white man. But the woman.
Took me a moment to catch it.
Huh?
I like it. Took me a moment to catch it. I like it.
Get thee to a punnery. Nice. Comma. La. I mean, it was really smart, but like, I hadn't seen it at all before. And then, like, 5 or 10 minutes, and I see it, boom, boom. And I still haven't seen it again. It makes me think that there's some. Well, actually, I haven't really been out in the world since then. So, how would I know? Yes, friends. The isolation is setting in again. Oh, sorry. I was somewhere else for a second.
But this time you have more cats.
I do. Cats make everything better. More cats means more better, right?
Right.
Right.
It's not like I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
Right?
I mean, Peanut Gallery might disagree, but that's on him.
I haven't heard from Kevin at all today.
Oh, Kevin's hiding in the other room.
Ah, their Kevin, not my Kevin. Well, well. That's a deep subject. Still looking at the wrong camera.
You know, there's something rather fitting about the comedian and YouTuber that has been doing this for well over however long, managing to consistently look at the wrong camera for one whole show.
It's because I'm not used to the camera being where it is, and the other camera is where it is, and it's on. Like the lens
Yeah.
cap is off the camera, and the camera is on.
Put the lens cap back on.
Yeah, I didn't send you the lens cap message. You can put it back on.
That'll help you remember.
Maybe.
Look, you two.
Bet they're not high.
Now,
We know. Logic. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I already told him that I was liable to be cranky to everybody, so
I knew what I was getting into.
he had every opportunity to say, "Oh, go to bed, leave me alone."
Yep, I did, but nope. I said, "Come on, let's do this." But no, I feel it is important for us to be doing this, saying this, making this point right now. Yeah.
Let's see.
I do feel like it's important that we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
The Peanut Gallery just sent me a text saying it's like somebody talking to somebody with a cast eye and always looking into the wrong eye. And it's like,
Yeah.
yep. Did you mean glass?
No, I've actually had that situation happen to me before. A friend and coworker had a cast eye due to some accident, so when I was always looking off in the wrong direction, and while talking to him, I couldn't help but look in the wrong eye.
Right.
Yep.
There's one eye that's obviously focusing on me, but the other one was distracting.
Right. I have a friend who tore half of his face off falling down a mountain.
That's,
And he, for the longest time, wore an eye patch. He stopped because he realized he was just doing it to keep other people from feeling uncomfortable. And last time I went to go see him, I mean, I had to resist the urge to be like, nah, dude, put it back on. Put the pat, nah, nope, just put the, nah, man. It's,
So he tore half his face off after the mountain face said off.
yes.
that.
Actually, what happened was he was riding his bike, and a car came and
Ooh.
edged him off, and yeah. It was bad karma, I think.
At least the dogma wasn't involved.
Mm-hmm. A pox on both of you.
What do you call it when Doctor Who plays by the rules?
Illegal.
Doctor Whom?
Dogmatic tenant.
Actually, that's only if you're talking about the 10th Doctor.
I'm about to curse at you. You're gonna actually and 10th Doctor me? Mother Herbert, what? And again, I'm looking into the wrong camera.
Here, I fixed it. I redeemed some channel points for you.
Oh, Herbert Finkelstein. Fractured coccyx.
Rat think.
Lunch sickles!
Look, don't bring chocolate into this.
Fog ducker.
Just call him a sugar honey iced tea and be done with it.
See you next Tuesday.
Yes. That's one of my favorites.
You lemon suckers. Butt muncher. Love it, Crystal. Love it. What's a fubble duck?
What was that Monty Python one? Your mother was a hamster
Oh.
and your father took elderberries?
Right.
Hey, laser lips! Mama was a snowblower!
Yes!
I forgot about that one.
Age check!
Listening that didn't actually get the one. Get that. Contact us later. We'll direct you to decent movies.
Right? Well, what was that one about your father was a hamster and your mother spent most of her time up against walls with sailors?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's from Red Dwarf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was the actual line.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Red Dwarf in
decades.
4 months.
I mean, apparently it is either still going or somehow got restarted. Because
Oh yeah, no, they finished it. They finally got the movie. They finally did the movie. They tied it up. They're done. It was great. And of course I say that and, in like 3 years they'll do another one.
Mm-hmm.
because somehow magically Chris Berry is actually getting younger.
Well, you know.
Craig Charles,
I
on the
just
other
hurt
hand,
myself.
whew,
I just really hurt myself.
what?
If you want to do some sort of like double negative inception, like universe ending loop in SG3K, the Red Dwarf movie.
Oh, yes, we should definitely try and do that.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, but are you? Are you? Are you
As far as anybody
sure?
listening,
Because it's full of cats.
as far as anybody listening knows,
We find out what happens to the cats.
One thing I don't understand is where are the rest of the cats?
That's what we find out.
Okay.
Well, you
Because
remember they had the Holy War? They had the Holy War on whether the hats should be red or blue. For the Holy Sausage Stand, right? So, half of the cats took one set of instructions, and the other half took the other set of instructions, something like that. And one half of the cats flew straight into a supernova and died. And the
well,
others knew that they were righteous and flew on forever.
well, we did a good job on bringing it back onto topic because we want to choose the blue hat.
this is true.
Well, the crazy thing is the hats were supposed to be green.
Still, that's what the
Possibly.
current topic.
But so yeah, the other set of cats flew on forever off into the stars for 3 million years. Well, for probably.
And then they
Oh
went back
no,
in
it
time
couldn't have been
to get
that long
technology.
because for like 30 or 40 years, actually, they flew on for like 30 or 40 years.
Uh-huh. And then they hit a wormhole and they ended up back in time, and you ended up with the cat from outer space with the gold brick and the talking collar.
No,
Yes.
Unfortunately, no.
no,
Look, I can have my fantasy.
it's headcanon,
I
sure.
realize it's wrong, but I can still have it.
Actually, who are we to say it's wrong? They've done so much stuff. And honestly, I mean, they have a whole, like, ring of Saturn kind of situation going on for those little, tiny little homing beacons for the light bees for all of the ace rimmers. So, I mean, it's not like there aren't plenty of dimensions. Plus, I mean, we've as much as found out that Christine Kachansky is still alive out there somewhere, and we've never dealt with that. So,
Suddenly, I'm going to have to go Sheldon on you.
Oh no. Now what?
Rings of Saturn. You realize that the dinosaurs are older than the rings on Saturn.
really
Oh,
Yes.
neat.
Random factoid.
Wait, does that mean the rings of Saturn were made by the same impact that killed the dinosaurs?
eh.
Hmm? Possibly.
Ooh. It is highly, highly doubtful. Although it is entirely possible that it was the rings of Saturn being created that sent the errant death rock to meet our planet.
I mean, yeah. It's a possibility.
So, There's that possibility. Which would then
So,
explain why dinosaurs are older than the rings of Saturn. Because it wouldn't take but well, couple of
All it takes is
decades.
for the dinosaurs to be first. It doesn't say how much first.
Right. Plus, for the time it would take an asteroid to get from Saturn to Earth, you're talking decades? Right? Not even 100 years. Like, we sent our Cassini way past that, and it's been 40 years?
oh, just think of the speed of good old Halley's Comet.
Right. So, yeah. Like, and dinosaurs weren't like, oh, it's 2 generations, 3 generations. Like, dinosaurs were around for a lot longer than humans have had history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you take a look at not just, but the actual amount of time. Like, and this time we call current era, this past 2024 years, 25 years, is actually a very short period of time considering, compared to how long there was recorded history before that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I think people don't quite appreciate, this last and how fast time has started moving, how fast progress has started moving in the past 2,000 years, in the past 500 years, in the past 200 years, in the past 50 years. How fast we're moving. And yet, we face an existential crisis to our current, not just status quo, not just, but to the stability of the entire situation. We face this existential threat now. We were hardly the first democracy on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not technically a true democracy.
No, we're not. What makes America exceptional? What makes the United States exceptional? I don't have an answer to that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We could say that it is possibly the peaceful transfer of power. There are other democracies that do that now.
Yes.
We could say that it's the stability of our economy, the stability of our currency,
Mhm.
which would imply then that what makes us exceptional is how much we've bought into capitalism.
Mm.
In which case, in which case, Donald Trump is still not a good idea. He's a terrible businessman, and he is not for free trade or free economic exchange. He's all about making money for rich people.
I
Maybe
don't have a good answer for you.
maybe our exceptionalism is based on the rule of law. I can't say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. I tried. I
All right,
just.
so here's a thought point for you.
All right.
All right, several friends from Europe that have looked at America and gone, "Y'all are weird for how overly excited and adamantly nationalistic you are." And so far, the best response I've heard for that is, "We are a young country by European standards. We've only been around how many years
Only a couple of hundred.
compared to France
England.
or Greece?"
I. I mean, we
So I would
are.
say that's what makes us or starts us on the path, is that we are a young country and we have tried, not successfully in many cases, but we have tried to look at what the older countries have done and said we can try to do better. Are we pulling it off in many ways? No. But we keep looking and saying, that really didn't work. We don't like that. We can try to do better.
I always thought one of the things that made us exceptional was the living nature of our founding documents. The uh, the fact that we could change our constitution, that
Mm-hmm.
we could change to fit the new times. There was an alacrity with which we could move because we saw ourselves as a democratic experiment and and a dynamic place. But
Mm-hmm.
I also saw that sort of from the outside, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, two things. Possible answer to your question, since I'm not loose here, but as I sent in the text to you, the meteoric rise of America to global influence through mostly peaceful means and stability within our own nation. We have a lot of influence in nations that we have not had any, well, for lack of a better term, beef with. Whereas you look at the other colonial superpowers in the past, They have influence in places that really should have a lot of beef with them.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is true.
Now, that also ends up with us in the strange situation of um, one of the few global superpowers in which a lot of people, though they hate us for it, they ask us to be moderators and I hate the term, but it's the only term I can think of at the moment. World police.
I
Hate us
mean,
for it, they ask us to do it.
and that explains how we got there. I've been wondering how we got there for a while. You know, well, it's pretty easy to see. Okay, World War II, World War One, and World War Two, and once we were involved in those, and we had this like super powerful military. Well, now we're on the world stage. But no, that makes a lot more sense. Um, Personally, I don't believe that it's wrong for us to be world police. I believe that if we are fine with being the world's pigs, I mean, if we understand ACAB and are fine with being the world's police, the world kinda needs it. You know, I mean, there is an awful, awful war going on in Sudan right now. And do I think that we should get involved in that? In our current state? No. No. Do I think that we should be talking about the war in Sudan? Yes. Do I think we should
Yeah.
be sending aid? Yes. Should we be marching in there as world police? Probably not. On the other hand, if we were leaning into being world police, you know, but if we were doing that, we'd also have to stop the war in Gaza, stop the war in Ukraine. We would have had to have stopped the blockade of was it Yemen?
I think so.
And when Putin annexed the Balkans.
True.
We should have stepped in then.
You should have.
But also, once we got embroiled in the Middle East like we did in the Persian excursion and then Operation Never Ending War.
Yeah.
You mean Korea?
Other never-ending war.
I'm sorry, Never Ending War 2. No, it ended. It was the 20-year war or something.
Yeah. Korea's still technically going.
Right, exactly. There is a place where I feel like we could validly play world police. I don't think anybody would have a problem with us marching into North Korea and nation building. Oh, I think history would see us as the bad guys in that case. I don't think we'd look good in history's eyes, but right now, who'd care? On the other hand, I also don't think that that's a great idea. Although, it would be a show of power to Putin.
True.
And be like, oh, North Korea wants to send people over to Putin to fight. Here, let's show them how we deal with that. I honestly, I think that there are diplomatic solutions to most of the problems going on. I think the few problems that there aren't diplomatic solutions to, I do not know that my heavy-handed Vadarian leftism is the correct move. I'm willing to believe that maybe peace, love, and happiness through superior firepower. I've got the bigger gun, so you can sit down, shut up, and be happy about it. I don't think that works. I really don't. That doesn't mean that I'm not willing to try it. I just don't think that our country should.
Right.
But there was another point further back that I wanted to make.
Okay.
We were talking about the young country and whatnot. A lot of our problems and a lot of what people think of us has to do with the cursed institution of slavery that helped build this country. Now, what I want to say about that is, yes, it happened. It was terrible. And we're still paying for that. And we still need to pay more for that. But a lot of these people who love to point a finger at us, they had that institution for longer than we've been around.
You know, we can point our own fingers at ourselves and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the nations that we extracted wealth from, the nations we stole humans from, can point their fingers and say something. I think they're within their rights to go, hey you jerks, you stole people. And I do think that we need to, I think that reparations, internal and external reparations, need to be made. I don't know what that looks like. But I know that people smarter than me do have some very good ideas.
One of the things that makes this experiment of a nation great, in my opinion, is while we may argue about it, we are still willing to point at ourselves and say, yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah.
My bad. We gotta fix this.
I think that I think that when the angels of our better natures shine through, we are, as a nation, capable of taking responsibility for our mistakes and fixing them.
Which is a very good reason not to vote for the orange.
Right? Right?
Responsibility? That's someone else's job, according to him.
Right?
Accountability, responsibility, truthfulness.
Right? That's all. He has a very, very distant relationship with all of those concepts. I mean, the kind of long distance relationship where they've been writing him for like ever, and hasn't even sent them a postcard.
He views responsibility and truthfulness in the same light the rest of us view those constant calls about our extended car warranty.
an annoyance, an irritation,
Mm-hmm.
dirt to brush off your shoulder.
Yep.
So, through all of this, I'd like to make the point that we're not journalists. And in this moment, we're almost being pundits.
Pundit, not punster.
Not pundit either. You really are our pundit, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got so many puns it leaves it in.
I was thinking more like pun bandit, but yeah. Rides in, lobs wild puns, and rides off again.
I throw puns around like grenades.
Basically.
Ads in 3 minutes. Well, I think that is our clue to wrap this up. Stick around for the raid.
Spooky.
But also remember, people, go vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote. And it does matter who you vote for. It does matter. I hate that it matters. I hate that we're a bipolar two-party system and that we can't vote with our consciences, that we have to vote effectively. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. It is this way. And we face a true existential threat to our nation. And we have to vote like it matters, because it does. If you have a mother, a daughter, a wife, a sister, anyone in your life who has a uterus, anyone in your life who has ovaries, that man wants to take away their rights. No matter what their gender is, he wants to take away their rights. He's proud of overturning Roe versus Wade. He takes pride in that. That is terrifying.
It is.
People like me will be outlawed. I'm deported. I'll get deported back to Israel if he has his way. Oh, chaotic techno wizard. Ouch. He is AT&T when it comes to those organs. He just wants to reach out and touch base. Ouch. Again, man, way to keep it light when I was getting a little too heavy there.
Did give the assignment.
Yeah, I get, and he understands the assignment.
Yep. Now, if the rest of us that are listening or sharing could get the assignment, go vote tomorrow, that'd be great too.
Yeah. Well, friends, I think that's where we're gonna leave it. I could stay here and plead all night, and I could continue to give reasons all night. But it's 9:30 and the cats want their wet food, and honestly, I could use to get some sleep.
Besides which, if you keep everybody
am gonna need to figure out how to refund you those points because I do not trust that I can get that camera to work right now.
Don't worry about it. I had no idea what it meant.
It summons Gandalf, and then I turn on the cat. Well, let's see. Okay, let's
Summon
see.
the game off and wave it in front of the camera you got now. That works.
Oh, refunded. Thank you, Crystal. Much appreciated. We'll figure it. So many technical difficulties. Also, where is he? Well, anyway, stick around for the raid. And go vote tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Thank you. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Thank you, Cat. Thank you, Chaotic Techno Wizard, who is Peanut Gallery. Now is the time when they say, as they say around here, when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down. Wait.
You said wait.
Is this right? 2 up, 2 down. Yeah. 2 up, 2 down. VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all. I don't think that camera reverses like the other one. Or it does reverse, unlike the other one. I can't hear you guys.